Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about Great Depression that happened in 1929 on the United States. So first, allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Doven.
I am Anne-Marie Hilig.
I am Jean Rondina.
And I am IC Villardon.
And in this video, we are going to explain the causes that led to the Great Depression and its social and political impacts. So first, what is Great Depression? Great Depression is the term refers to the greatest and longest economic recession in modern world history. The Great Depression ran between 1929 and 1941, which was the same year that the United States entered World War II in 1941. So, Great Depression is the worldwide economic downturn nga nahitabo sa United States. It was the longest and pinaka-severe nga na-experience sa industrialized Western world. The Great Depression po di ay also represents the harshest adversity nga giatubang sa mga Americans since the Civil War. And actually, ang depression kay affected ani niya kay several countries. Pero ang most yun nga nagsuffer among all of them kay ang United States because of their misguided government policies caused their economic output to fail. Great Depression of 1929 marked the peak of protectionism. Until today, protectionism exists in the world economy despite the growth of trade liberalization. So, ang protectionism refers to the policy of protecting domestic industries against foreign competitor through tariffs, import quotas and subsidies, and restrictions in imports. Since ang Great Depression was a breeding ground for protectionism, walay laing choice ang United States kundi i-limit ang ilang imports to revive their economy. So, what are the causes that led to the Great Depression? First, people overspeculated on stocks, borrowing money that they could not repay when stock prices crash. This means, someone borrowed them money or they bought their stocks on credit. Ang mga tao, kay ilang gipamalit ang tanang stocks pero when the stocks kaining crash, wala nila mabayaran balik ang ilang giutang stocks to credit. Second, the stock market crashed because people panicked and started to sell their stock. As a result, stocks became worthless. So nagpanic buying sila, but when the stocks crash, ang ilang stocks kay nawad-an og value. Third, industries declined which caused layoffs and lower wages. Fourth, high tariffs made trade with other countries difficult. So naglisod og trade with other countries ang United States since dako man ang ilang tariff. And also, high tariffs means high price ang product na palitunon sa mga customers. On October 29, 1929, ang stock market sa United States kani crash in an event known as Black Tuesday. This began a chain of events that led to the Great Depression, a 10-year economic slump that affected all industrialized countries in the world. So how did the people react to Black Tuesday? In those days, manggod, people believed that stock market was the economy. So when the Black Tuesday happened, many people lost their confidence in the economy and it was destroyed.
Next is the impacts and effect of the Great Depression. So in this part, we will talk on how the Great Depression impacted to the economy, how impacted it to the people in different parts of the United States, and also their effects. So first, we have the economic depression, employment crisis, number of bankruptcies increased, large number of poor citizens increased, lots of banks and businesses failed, large population of people are hungry and homeless, farmers' income fell to low levels, and last is many people moved to hoverfields, tents and shacks made by homeless people because they were forced to leave their homes due to economic reasons. So to sum it up, sukad nahitabo ang Great Depression dito sa US kay a lot of people suffered. They were hungry, homeless, and due to economic reasons, they were forced to move to hoverfields. So next is the Dust Bowl. Dust Bowl term used for the Great Plains during the 1930s when the region suffered from drought and dust storms. Moreover, Dust Bowl is a series of dust storms caused by erosion to the soil. These storms were catastrophic events, destroying the ecology of the Great Plains and southern states of Oklahoma, New Mexico, Kansas, Texas, and Colorado. So there are three major causes of Dust Bowl. First, we have the overproduction of crops. Second, we have the drought. And the third is the severe wind storms. So what is the effects of the Dust Bowl? So the Dust Bowl had severe consequences for the economy, agriculture, and the environment. Also, people who lived in the Dust Bowl areas were prone to health problems. Families devastated by the Dust Bowl relocated to the west coast of large cities in hope of finding work. So, ang ubang pamilya kay ni-migrate sa laing lugar aron mangita og trabaho para dili na sila mag-suffer. But some families choose to stay since to relocate it costs a lot of money. So, katong nipili na magpabilin kay padayon silang mag-suffer ug kailangan nilang mo-survive.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the one who defeated the infamous President Hoover in 1932. Americans believed that Hoover was the one who made the Great Depression severe. By the time President Roosevelt elected, he signed a new policy that will reform or change the government policy that Hoover made. It was known as the New Deal. The New Deal. It affected the banking stock market crisis, industry, agriculture, public works, relief for the poor, conservation of resources, and farming overproduction that gave the federal government more control over the nation's economy, as well as the idea that the government must take responsibility for helping those in need.
Labor movement. Labor movement in the United States grew out of the need to protect the common good interest of workers. Workers benefited during the New Deal. They gained the right to form unions, the right to collective bargaining. Discussions between employers and union representatives of workers over wages, hours, and working conditions. Child labor ban, and a minimum wage of 40 cents an hour.
So, ang mga nindot ng mga benefits sa mga workers during sa New Deal, as well as katong gipang-mention ni Jane earlier, ang mga naepektuhan kay ang banking stock, market crisis, agriculture, industry, ug uban pa. Ang mga workers kanay rights or karapatan nga mo-appeal or mo-join sa mga union for the purpose of collective bargaining. Ang kaning collective bargaining include nila mga payment, benefits, hours, leave, job health, safety policies, and ways to balance work and family, and more.
Child labor ban.
Based on my research, for non-agricultural jobs, children under 14 may not be employed. Children between 14 and 16 may be employed in allowed occupations during limited hours, and children between 16 and 17 may be employed for unlimited hours in non-hazardous occupations. In a minimum wage of 40 cents, kung sa ato pa diri sa Pilipinas kay 99.6 pesos an hour or per hour. Union membership increased during the 1930s. The Wagner Act guaranteed workers the right to form unions to bargain collectively with employers. So, ang union membership kay nanaghan during 1930s. The Wagner Act guaranteed or supports mga workers the right to form unions to bargain collectively with agreements with employers. The end of the Great Depression. On December 7, 1941, the Japanese bombed the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor and forced the U.S. to start World War II. By the time of the war, the U.S. economy will get the boost they had been looking for. The Great Depression ended in 1941. This was around the same time that the United States entered World War II. On December 7, 1941, ang Japanese kay nag-una-una og bomba sa US naval base at Pearl Harbor. Whereas, ang kaning naval base kay mga asa nakalocate ang mga warship. And also, ang Pearl Harbor karon it still remains an active military base. And giforce nila ang US sa mga Japanese na sugdan na nila ang World War II. By the time of the war, the US economy will get the boost they had been looking for because by the time nga nag-start ang war, nag-produce og daghang war item ang US para makaredy sila sa war nga nag-lead og daghang production means nga ning prosper sa ilang industry.